Hi, I'm Niklas Alin and this is the Neckbolt Dev blog. Today we're gonna meet the two companions who will tag along with the elephant on this adventure.
There are two characters who travel with you throughout this game. They don't /follow you like in Diablo or something, and they don't appear right behind you like that creepy Watson. But you keep meeting them in every new area you visit, and they keep giving you details about the main quest line. First one is a girl called Sundara, and you meet her right at the beginning of the game. She's actually run away from home, and I guess this is a minor spoiler, but turns out she's actually the princess of the whole kingdom, and she tries to dodge out of that responsibility a little. But more on that later. As you can see, she is quite energetic and enthusiastic. She's also a bit of a prankster, and she likes practical jokes, and she can come across as a bit mean sometimes. A little while later you meet your next friend, a young monk named Kai. He is a really nice and helpful person, but he is super insecure and he keeps making mistakes and screw up anything he does. The other monks sent him out on some phony pilgrimage because they needed to get him out of the temple for a while before he could cause more accidental damage. I'm actually having some real trouble with Kai as a character. Everyone keeps talking about how he's such a screw up and how he fails at everything he tries, but you never actually get to see him fail at anything. It's all tell and no show. And the reason for this is that he's really just an NPC, you know? His range of available actions are limited to standing around in one place forever and blurt out a few lines of dialogue whenever you talk to him. Now with Sundara, I don't really have this problem because her mischievous prankster character comes across pretty well just by the way she speaks and the things she suggests you do, such as waking Kai from his sleep by splashing water in his face. But I recently added an extra animation the first time you meet Kai, and I had him stumble and fall as he walks away. It doesn't look awesome, but it helps to establish this character and shapes your first impression. But the coolest thing about these two characters is that they actually grow up over the course of the game. When you meet them in the beginning of the game, they are just small children, but as you play on, you will see them grow into teenagers, and at the very end of the game, you will meet them again as mature adults. And this means they can each have a character arc. The main theme of this story is responsibility. The elephant himself has one relationship with responsibility, which is explored through the game, but parallel to that, these two characters also deal with responsibility in their own ways. Kai wants to become a sage-like guru, a reliable figure others can turn to, but he can't do anything right. Sundara, on the other hand, is set to inherit the whole kingdom, and she responds by freaking out and trying to escape that burden. So one lacks power but wants responsibility, and the other has all the power in the world but don't want to handle the responsibility. My model for Sundara's character is Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. And then when you meet them as adults, you get to see how they have both overcome their difficulties. I like to think of it in terms of D&D alignments. In order to mature, Sundara needs to shift her alignment from chaotic evil to chaotic good. And when I say evil, I don't mean that she will murder you and burn your house down. I just mean that in the beginning of the game she is selfish and mean, and she will run away from her problems and let someone else deal with them. Now Kai, on the other hand, he is firmly planted in lawful good throughout the game. His problem is one of power level. He starts out as a lawful good noob and has to become a lawful good elite. Sundara is an elite from the start, but she needs to shift her alignment. Just to clarify though, it's not like they are actually going to have levels and experience points, alignments and stuff in the game. I'm just using this terminology now as a metaphor for character development, which it occurs to me is kind of what the system was originally designed for. The idea is that you get to see this shift happen to both your companions as you play through the story. And as I said, both of these side stories are thematically relevant, as the elephant also has a journey to a better way of dealing with his own responsibilities. Let's finish this off with a look at this week's Wednesday support. This week I worked really hard to create the fourth and final city Freehaven. This is the city where the robotic Mechani lives, so the whole thing ticks like clockwork. But it's also a seaside trading port and can boast seagulls and palm trees and beautiful beaches. That's all for today's episode, but stay tuned for next week when I will be back. If you want, you can subscribe to this devlog series on Patreon or directly on YouTube, and you can follow me on Twitter for quick updates. Thank you, and I will see you next time.